Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discuss 10 rules that I generally follow when it comes to money. These are something that is very close to my heart and it helps me a lot in managing my own money. Like everything else, I personally believe that you should definitely have some rules or ideas or any thoughts that you tend to follow as a process when you deal with your own money, right? So let us begin. First one is ideally the thought that I will never lose sleep over money. So basically, it means that I will not take such big risks that I'm not able to sleep well at night, or invest so much money in a volatile instruments like equity or something like a cryptocurrency where the movement is rapid and it goes up and down and people tend to lose sleep over it. So I'm not going to do that. So I invest enough money which I can have over the I can stay wherein I can stay invested for the next 10, 20, 30 years, right? But what I do is I make sure that I have adequate insurance for this also. So I make sure that I have enough cash, in bank account and in mutual funds that allows me to meet my expenses if any emergency were to come. And this is a very big cushion. And then I also tend to keep enough insurances. So insurance would be like health insurance, term insurance, and also motor insurance and home insurance probably. Second rule is to focus on not letting debt to equity ratio go above 0.1. Basically, it means that I will never borrow more than 10% of my net worth. So the borrowing can be to purchase a house, or it can be to buy a car or any other sort of discretionary or non-discretionary item. That's not a problem. But idea is that to not have enough debt, so that again the factor of sleeping peacefully at night is ensured, right? Because if you have a lot of debt and say you end up losing your job or your business suffers some downturn, then it could be challenging to pay off the debts, right? Obviously you have your emergency fund, but then debt is never good for health, right? So that's why debt should not exceed 10% of my net worth. Rule number three is pretty interesting. I am someone who used to focus a lot on saving money, as in saving, reducing, keeping my costs low and saving the difference. But costs are something that you can keep low only to an extent, right? After that, you can't reduce your costs, and money is something that is meant to be spent. So the focus has changed from reducing the cost to increasing my income, right? I'm not going to spend beyond a limit anyways, but if I can increase my income, then I can always be okay with spending a little extra money as well. So that's why the focus has changed, and that has helped me a lot over the last 2 years. It should definitely be your objective as well. Try to move the focus from reducing your expenses and cribbing about how much money you're spending to seeing that how you can grow your money and grow your income. Rule number 4 is to never withdraw money from long-term allocations, right? You must have heard that never interrupt compounding, right? So when they say they never interrupt compounding, basically it means that you shouldn't be getting in and out of your investments. There have been studies done wherein in the last 15 to 20 years there were only 20 to 30 good days if you in the stock markets, right? And if you missed out staying invested on those days, then you would barely make any return that would beat even a savings bank account. So that's why staying invested becomes extremely important. So to stay invested, what I do is I ensure the rule number 1, which is to not sleep over money, wherein I ensure that I have enough cash allocations so that even though the markets fall by 20%, 30% and 40%, I can remain invested and I can continue to add more money, because I will have an active income and also I will have enough cash kept separately. Rule number 5 is to not play with things you do not know. So basically, when it comes to money, people tend to get into futures and options and a lot of get rich quick schemes to make money faster, right? But then it's not a great idea to do this because of a simple reason that you will probably most likely not make any money, right? And you will only end up losing money. People have lost their entire net worths. People have lost their lives also because they took higher risks without knowing what they were getting into. So that's why if I have to do anything, I will first learn about it and then only do it, and also only risk enough money which I can afford to lose, right? Which is not more than 1 to 2 months of income ideally. So focus on that. Never try to do any experiments and never try to get into any sort of trap of getting rich quick. The sixth thing is asset allocation. So if you have heard stories of people getting rich, people getting wealthy, be it Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, or any other person, right? The entrepreneurs, all of them have gotten rich either by investing in businesses of other people or by having their own business, right? So how do you think that you and I are going to get rich? By investing in businesses of other people, right? Obviously there will be ups and downs in the net worth, but if you can stay invested for 30, 40, 50 years, then you will end up getting wealthy. That's why starting early becomes extremely important. So what I focus on when it comes to asset allocation is to first ensure that I have enough cash. Secondly, ensure that my near-term goals are not parked in long-term investment. So if I need money in 3 to 5 years, I'm not going to park that money in equity, right? So this is how I focus on asset allocation. Things like gold or real estate, most households already have gold in the form of jewelry, so that's why it does not form part of the asset allocation in the cash portfolio. And real estate, if you don't have, you should limit it to your primary home. Outside of that, if you are an expert in real estate investing only, then you should delve into it. It's a much more difficult area to invest than equity, because equity, you can, if you don't even know anything, you can just go buy in an index fund. But in real estate, you can definitely buy REITs in India right now, but again the market is not too matured unlike the West. So ideally you should stay away from real estate except for purchasing your primary home. That also depends on when you should buy. We will talk about it in a separate video. So folks, before we move on to the next rule, I have a small offer for you. Just I'm sharing the American Express referral links in the description box below. You should apply for these cards through the referral links. You will get first year free. Not only you will get first year free, there is the fee is reduced compared to applying directly from second year, and also you get some bonus points, right? So it makes absolute sense to apply for the cards. Use the links in the description box below. So now let us move on to the next rule. Next rule is actually about credit cards. I don't really understand, if you are spending anywhere north of 50,000 rupees, why you shouldn't be using credit cards, right? Because you can make anywhere between 3% to 15% on your spends. So ideally you should be focusing on credit cards. On my channel I've done lots of videos on credit cards, so take a look at those videos. Credit cards, two things you should ensure: firstly, to make sure that the payment is done on time, and secondly, do not go overboard with credit cards, right? So but apart from that, you can travel luxuriously, you can make your holidays free. That's what my focus is. Even if I have to take 2 trips during the year, I try to maximize my credit card rewards to reduce the expenses, cash outflows on my credit card spends. Next rule is again a similar rule: hold enough cash to ensure that you have enough to meet 10 years worth of expenses. This is a little higher than the stated thumb rules for emergency funds, but this is what keeps me comfortable. So my focus here is that if I have 10 years worth of expenses parked in safer instruments, then what happens is, no matter what may come, I'm not going to withdraw money from long-term allocations, and also I'm not going to lose my sleep. So it becomes very important. I have done a video on maximizing returns on emergency funds, right? I'm linking that here. Take a look at that. It's a very good video, because ideally your emergency fund should not lose value over time. If it loses value over time, then you have to keep on topping up. That's why watch this video, you will know much better about it. The ninth focus is to create more sources of income, right? This YouTube channel, for example, is going to become a source of income for me. I've monetized this channel, right? Even though it may not be a lot in the initial days, but I am hoping that 3 to 5 years down the line, it will start giving me decent amount of revenues. I have, in my business, we are focusing on three different sources of revenues, right? Then you have your own portfolio, which will give you income every year, right? So that's why focusing on creating multiple sources of revenues becomes important, so that you can create generational wealth and also sleep well at night, and also enjoy your life as well, right? Because if you have multiple sources of income, you can spend also, right? So that's why multiple sources of income is important for me. That is my focus. So if you are also focusing on this, why don't you comment and tell me what are some of the areas wherein you are focusing on creating multiple sources of income. First thing is that pay up to for things that improve your life, right? So it could be any sort of subscription, it could be any sort of course, it could be subscription to apps, right? Like for example, for making the videos, I have to subscribe to two apps. One is Canva and one is Filmic Pro to record these videos, right? So I spend money, even if I'm not making any money right now, I do spend money. So spending money to improve your upskilling yourself and improve your knowledge and improve your income always makes sense. So do not be frugal there, even if you don't make much money, but if anything can improve your life over the longer term, do that. Spend money on your health, right? For example, I spend a decent amount of money on my fitness every month, including the food that I eat, right? So try to do that, so that your one thing is life will increase, then your obviously standard of living will also improve over time. So folks, these were some of the things that I follow when it comes to thinking about money, dealing with money. If you have something else, why don't you comment and tell me? And I hope you enjoyed this video and like this video. So if you did, do not forget to like, subscribe and comment. Thank you.